Now, here's Chief Meteorologist Tony Petrarca with your live Pinpoint Doppler 12 Futurecast.
Well, certainly a complicated storm system headed our way in terms of precipitation type, amounts, location. It's one of those situations where the storm, unlike the last several we've had, it won't be all snow, but a combination of snow, sleet, and even some freezing rain. Take a look at live Pinpoint Doppler 12 radar. We are nice and quiet. The clouds streaming in a little bit, but as I mentioned before, if you're going to be heading out this evening up until the midnight hour, weather certainly not a problem. It's not until actually well after midnight. Take a look at the temperatures. 31 right now. The winds are light out of the south-southwest at 3, humidity at 69%. So temperatures are marginally cold enough to support snow. So everyone will start as accumulating snow late at night and early in the morning. But eventually, both near the ground and several thousand feet above our heads, some milder air will start to work in, especially south of Providence, especially along the South Shore. What that'll do is change the wet, heavy snow over to some sleet and freezing rain. And when that happens, the snowfall accumulations in the end get reduced. The further south you go, they tend to be a little higher the further north and west you are, especially north and west of Providence. I'll show you those numbers in just a second. Clouds streaming in ahead of the storm system, but essentially dry and quiet. The main storm is still back through the Midwest, and what will happen is a secondary storm will form south of New England. That'll sort of complicate the situation as far as the precipitation type. But here's how it breaks down on Futurecast. Starting off at 6 o'clock this evening. Watch the clock. The first part of the night is fine. This gray represents the cloud cover that's streaming in. Now, a lot of colors on the map. The blue represents snow. Here's the leading edge of it arriving by around 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. The darker the blue, the heavier the snow. So this is about 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. It'll be coming down real hard. Big, fat, wet flakes of snow, rapid accumulations, very heavy snow for the morning commute. Bad timing here. Jump ahead now to 10 o'clock in the morning. Central and northern suburbs, still snow. See the green along the South Shore? That's rain, Newport, westerly. And in between is kind of a sleet and some freezing rain. This is 10 o'clock in the morning. By noontime, the sleet rain mix advances further to the north. So we start to see some sleet in downtown Providence and rain along the South Shore. And during the afternoon, sleet north, rain south. Most of the snow now pushing up into central Massachusetts. Now, as the storm pulls away and colder air comes back in, we'll transition back over to some lighter snow around this time tomorrow evening, tomorrow night, as the whole storm system pulls away. So the further south you go, the better chance of seeing some rain mixing in. Further to the north, it's mostly snow with some sleet. So because it's colder up here, it's more in the way of snow. The amounts of snow are higher up here and not as much as you get closer to the South Shore. How much are we talking about? In the gray area, southern suburbs, South Shore, between 2 and 5. Only an inch or 2 on the islands. 5 to 8 in the Providence metro area. What this means quite simply is as little as 5 to as much as 8. Let's use Route 295 as sort of a boundary. Along Route 295, north and west, anywhere from 8 to 10. So as little as 8 to as much as 10. The amounts are even higher as you get up towards the Mass Pike. So no doubt the red warning light tomorrow as far as travel. A very difficult, slow morning commute. Feel very confident about that. 27 to 32. And then during the afternoon, the precipitation gets a little lighter, and it's mostly kind of a sleet, rain, freezing rain mixture with temperatures in the mid-30s. 7-day outlook shows better weather on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. A lot of talk about a potential storm by the latter half of the weekend. Tell you what, it's not a slam dunk. It's not etched in stone. At this point, it's just a possibility. But we're thinking in the Sunday night, Monday time frame, we'll be watching an offshore storm that could bring more snow and ice our way. So stay tuned. So looking good for this evening up until about, to say, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. Then the snow arriving, extending through tomorrow and mixing with sleet and rain. Whole thing should be winding down by tomorrow night. And then the rest of the work week should be okay. Real tough morning commute tomorrow.
All right. Thanks, Tony.